It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
I watch so you don't have to.
Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Ladies and gentlemen, over the past couple of weeks, I, Mr. Negativity, have been called everything from a shill, or I've even had my integrity as a film critic called into question, simply because I enjoyed a movie. More specifically, because I enjoyed Avatar: The Way of Water.
Boo this man!
While it's a nice change of pace to be on the other side of this discussion, this is just further proof that no matter how honest and straightforward you are with people, in the end what a lot of people really want is their own opinions retorted back to them, even if that means they are being lied to. You see, the truth is hard. Lies are much easier to digest in the world of YouTube. That's why your average YouTube channel consistently makes up lies. That includes fake rumors and headlines like they are no better than the mainstream media. It's weird because I thought as content creators, we were supposed to be an alternative to the shill media. Yet a lot of YouTubers seem to have become exactly what they fought against for so long.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
But of course, not me. You see, because I'm not here to hold anyone's hand, or to tell people what they want to hear, or to build my own agendas. And that's unfortunately what YouTube is used for now. Almost every single video you watch has a slant to it. And to me, that's not about starting conversations or discord. It's about picking a side and doing everything in your power to build a narrative that supports your way of thinking. Now, I admit that I have strong opinions about things, but I've never once dismissed anyone who disagrees with me, if they come to me in a respectful way, because that's what adults are supposed to do. But you don't get that same luxury in all corners of the internet. And thus, free-thinking people like myself are typically labeled, or even worse, dismissed, because we don't fit into this box or this category that people want to put you in.
I have no respect for those with no respect for logic.
So how does all of this relate to Avatar 2? Well, over the past couple of weeks, I've been hit with this barrage of videos from various content creators who are claiming that Avatar is a failure. All across social media, all you see is people claiming that Avatar has no cultural significance. Well, I'm here to tell you that $1.4 billion in 20 days says otherwise. And to be clear, this isn't about how I feel about this movie or how you feel about this movie. It's about telling the truth. You see, I represent reality in a world full of lies. When I said that Black Adam was going to be a flop, and it was a flop, you can take that shit to the bank because I had the numbers to back it up. But you see, people saying that Avatar 2 is a failure don't have that same benefit. If these numbers have taught us anything, it's that Avatar 2 is playing by its own set of rules, and it shouldn't be judged like just another blockbuster. I don't care if this movie makes a profit or breaks even. The fact that this movie was dangerously close to passing the mega hit that was Top Gun Maverick at the box office for 2022 should tell you all you really need to know.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
What it tells me is that Twitter is not real life, and maybe some parts of YouTube aren't real life either. So I guess you could say I'm the alternative to the typical bullshit you'll get on YouTube. People screamed for 13 years on these platforms how nobody was interested in seeing another Avatar movie. Well, again, $1.4 billion in 20 days says otherwise. Maybe these movies hold more cultural significance in the real world, in real life, than people realize. I saw this tweet that pretty much sums up what I was thinking, so I'm going to share it with you today. It says, quote, "The Avatar fandom are so confident in James Cameron and the brand that they didn't even spend the last 13 years defending it online. They lived their lives, waited for the sequel, bought a ticket, watched it, rewatched it, and loved it. It's possible to love something and live a life too."
Goddamn right, that's the only way I work, Cap.
This is what sets Avatar apart from all the other big budget franchises, the fandom. They aren't like the MCU fandom who has to tweet or post every half hour to try to defend garbage content. Most likely because they themselves feel insecure about their own opinions. You see, I said I liked the movie, but I'm not trying to convince everyone to like it also. That's the difference. And the fact is that the biggest hate that I see towards Avatar comes from MCU stans. Salty because box office means everything to them. And for some reason, MCU films are these people's whole lives. These movies define them because they have nothing in their real lives to give them perspective. Some fandoms don't need to prove how much they love something. They just show it, and that's what's happening with Avatar.
In this lifetime, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody except yourself.
Knowing what we know now, online conversations about this movie don't mean shit. Here's another example. This fucking moron on Twitter said this: Avatar makes $1 billion, but I see no one talking about it. No funny pics, no gifs, nothing. This person later admitted that they hadn't actually watched the movie, by the way, which doesn't surprise me at all. This is what it's come to, folks. This movie had no impact to this person because it didn't inspire enough memes and gifs online. I think it's safe to say that standards are at an all-time low when that's what people are looking for in their movies. They want quirky moments that they can turn into a meme, like they have the mentality of a 12-year-old fucking child. Maybe they are a 12-year-old child, I have no idea. But I'm willing to bet that it has more to do with them being incapable of having meaningful conversations about film or anything else.
That makes sense.
From the very start, I believe that Avatar 2 has had an agenda against it for whatever reason. And again, I wasn't even the biggest Avatar fan. I said many times that that first movie has no rewatchability factor. But I also didn't let that fact cloud my judgment when watching the second movie. Now, if you have no interest in Avatar, then I respect that. But there's a difference between not being interested in something and trying to build an agenda or a narrative around that movie or the people who like it. And that's what the media did. That's what some YouTubers did. And now, if you notice, they're all starting to backtrack. Because James Cameron and the film itself are proving all of them wrong. Or at the very least, exposing their lies. My advice would be to be careful who you support. They may have the best intentions, but there's also a lot of manipulation and a lot of brainwashing going on out there. Since this movie has been released, I've seen about 15 different James Cameron quotes that were contorted into him saying something that he actually wasn't saying. Is James Cameron cocky? Yes. Is he a dick sometimes? Yes. Does he say questionable things from time to time? Sure. But you wouldn't know about any of that if you didn't spend every waking moment of your life on social media like some people do. And in reality, none of that really matters to me. What really matters to me is what he puts on screen. And in my opinion, the guy is unmatched when it comes to giving us a legitimate blockbuster experience. His movies might not be for everyone, but that's the beauty of watching movies, and that's why it's important to have real conversations about them, because they affect people in different ways. All I ask is that you don't allow yourself to be manipulated by bullshit videos and articles. Think for yourself, keep having conversations, and most importantly, keep watching movies.
Y'all be cool. Right on.